Why, hello there, my friends. It's Admiral Revan here, and well, we have a lot of news articles to cover today, and definitely, I mean, there's a bucket load of updates at the moment for World of Warships, and honestly, there's a lot of announcements we're gonna have the ground to cover, and I will break it up into different categories for this video so that we can keep ourselves up to date and everything. And first and foremost, folks, I mean, like, I understand that a lot of people are having issues with the game at the moment as such, in terms of trying to play it, have been experiencing a bit of crashing here and there and stuff like that. It's understandable, and I feel ya, and I know how it goes. But just want to start talking about 11.1 issues. Basically, you'll see a lot of interesting game behavior going on. So basically, the game login, starting in update 11.0, found out that on average, the game was launched has increased significantly in the latest updates, and it has in 11.1. It's atrocious. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Honestly, as a person who is trying to play the game just to have fun and everything, um, yeah, yeah, okay, well, I'm a bit pissed off about that actually. But, like, I have a decent system, which is the Ryzen, 5900X, and my dad has the Intel i9. Now, in comparison to other people who have, like, different systems similar to that, or not too long in terms of the generation side of things, I have heard complaints from people who have, like, an Intel i5, which is a 6th gen machine, or a Ryzen 5, or Ryzen, 3900 machine and stuff. Like, when I hear stories like that, I know exactly where you're coming from. And to be honest with you, it's really ridiculous. It's absolutely horrendous. You see, the game itself used to be pretty quick in loading up, and it doesn't matter what hardware components you got, unless you have a very, well, if you have a very slow machine, like in terms of hard drive. But honestly, this is a bit of an eye-opening experience, that's for sure. So basically, on average, like, we trying to figure out what the hell's going on and everything. So here we are, and trying to talk about it right now. So we found out on average that the game time has increased significantly in the game performance for the loading up, and it's like they're looking at ways on how to reduce it. Honestly, they should bloody well get rid of that video intro that they have for World of Warships. Honestly, I love the video intros for World of Warships, but honestly, I think it's getting to the point that they need to get rid of it. And it's just one way, in my perspective, that it'll probably be a good way to make that change happen, for the future, for everyone involved in this. That's for sure. So, I was talking to a couple other people as well about possibilities of how to improve this. Now, the RAM, the hard drives, if you have an SSD, it's all good. It's all well and good, like, it's nice to have, but just remember that, even though you have the latest and greatest machine out there, it doesn't mean that, you always will have the best performance anyway. Unfortunately, when I look back, with everything been going on in the game and everything, even if you were to put it down to the lowest setting, it doesn't improve the loading times anyway. I have had situations where friends of mine who have upgraded their machines with better hardware components for the video card, the RAM, the memory. I did say memory, but the hard drive. Hard drives being at least, well, an SSD, a solid state drive. or there's NVM2 drives. It doesn't really make a difference anyway. So despite of which, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So the next thing I was going through is looking at the armory, and basically if you're running a Windows 7 operating system, it's interesting because the armory is having issues there, been displaying various elements. Not everyone is on Windows 10 or above. I have found it that it's okay to stay on Windows 10 at least, and Windows 7 is pretty much redundant old technology now. So folks, if you have an old Windows operating system, you do have the option to do a quick free upgrade to Windows 10 anyhow for the time being. Windows 10 is still decent for those who are running a decent system at home and you're running Windows 7. Even if you're not using a decent system on Windows 7 on an old PC, you still can run Windows 10 with it, just not all those cool features. But with the bot behavior, the AI behavior, I have seen a slight improvement and a bad overhaul for the release of when it came for asymmetric battles. It didn't go as planned. So too many bots have been used, and honestly the bot behavior has to be improved. And they're still working on that in the long term. So understandably that this is going to be made available in the public test in the near future. So that is a good thing that Wargaming is working through that. Now, the next thing I want to address is regarding to the client crash issues. Now, the client crash issues, I was making a quick video about that, but the solution I found wasn't a pretty one. So basically, even though if you uninstall the mod station or Azure mods and reinstall the mods afterwards, it doesn't seem to work all the time. So what I found was that if you had uninstalled the mod station or Azure mods, run the game seems to run fine. However, the game does crash from a period of time to time. And it crashes for different reasons, whatever that is. That cause is unknown. The one thing I can say to you is that even though if you do a repair of the operating, not the operating system, but do a repair of the actual game client and also the game installation, sometimes it will work, but other times it won't. The other alternative method that I found, well, I'll be honest with you, I had found it easier to uninstall the game and re-download it, and it works fine. That solution is the best solution. It seems to work fine, and I'm happy with it. So that is the main thing at this stage, and it seems to be working fine, and that's the main thing. What's the next thing I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I just realized what I'm going to talk about. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is regarding to the latest announcement of Clan Battles, Clan Season. Clan Battles, Clan Season, for this season, Season 16. Can you believe it? We're really approaching the numbers here. So Season 16 for Clan Battles is Abatross. So Abatross has already kicked off, it's already started not too long ago as of this week. And pretty much there's some quick format details just to give you a brief update. So it's appearing on the Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday schedule, which is pretty cool. I mean, like, I have to admit, there's the game time sessions when it starts. Please check in retrospect of the server that you're on, which is CIS, NA, EU or SEA server. Please go check it out and look at your prime times and what makes you available for you to start your timing and having fun. It looks like that the prime times for Europe and North America are going to be changing in the near future. to what? We don't know for sure yet, but it looks like there's going to be a bit of a new draft in play for as of the 30th of March and the 15th of March. Okay, well, March is just around the corner and we're nearly at the end of February. Damn. So that tells me a lot of things. It really does. But looks like the format for 7 versus 7 battles for tier 10 ships are still going to be play. No carriers. Just letting you know. Basically, it's all warships. One of each type, but of each particular ship type and name. And basically, you got the following maps of North, Hotspot, Islands of Ice, Lane of Fire, Shards, Trident, and Crash Zone Alpha. All are very good maps. And these are the maps like displayed and is shown as follows. Very handy for your teams to be practicing for positioning and everything. And it's actually very, very informative to keep yourself up to date for that. So basically, aircraft carriers and submarines are definitely not allowed. The 8SW mechanics will be disabled, and also depth charges. And also, no more than 3 mercenaries per division. So basically, how it works out is that if you have 4 of the clan members, plus 3 mercs, that's it. Team cannot have 2 identical ships in its lineup. So basically, if you have try to put 2 Kerfurs or 2 Kremlins, it won't accept it. During the season, based on statistics, new restrictions may be added and existing restrictions may be changed. So Wargaming will announce that in the dev blogs in the near future. So keep yourself up to date on that. Now, there's been an interesting update that we've been keeping an eye on, and there is fixes coming soon for the technical issues. So pretty much this is like an update not too long ago. Pretty much they were saying that they found a bit of an issue why it takes so long to do with the game. Basically, they're hoping to improve it in the next few days. Now, the thing is that since this article was published on the 22nd of February, I have tested this theory, and I can tell you, no, they haven't fixed it. I have given some feedback to Wargaming about this already, even though there has been some slight improvements, but yeah, it's something that Wargaming needs to work on it, and at the end of the day, I think it is something that needs to be done. Definitely needs to be done. Game crashes with the release 10 of 11.1. You know, like it's weird how this issue happens, but again, I mean, like it has happened where people drop in and out during the middle battle, things like that. Some people lagged out of nowhere. Some people just lag out when they're streaming. I've seen it happen, and it has happened to me as well too. Hopefully there'll be some compensation for it, for this sort of thing. But I believe that Wargaming do the best they can to fix and remedy the issue. However, this brings back to another topic, which is the economic changes. Now, you might have seen some people and been talking about this, and I can tell you this much, that the economic changes in World of Warships is definitely getting updated. Some of the information on there has been wrongly described, typical fashion, but you know, basically they're talking about the changes that were made to the aircraft carriers, and the correct information is follows right there. So, if you're interested in playing aircraft carriers, like I do, and there are other people out there who do play aircraft carriers, and they're known as CV main, but if you're interested in playing aircraft carriers just for the fun of it and everything, basically, Wargaming has done a rework on the way how the XP is earned by Tier 8 and 10 aircraft carriers. So basically, they will earn more for skinny enemies and less for damaging them. Previously, good battle performance playing Tier 8 and 10 carriers yielded a smaller reward compared to other ships types. Even sinking numerous enemy ships hardly ever placed on carriers among the top XP earners on the team. Now, I have to admit, I mean, like, I would be pretty pissed off if I was a top earning CV player and didn't get the rewards better than the battleships or cruisers or destroyers in my team. So obviously I'm going like, what the F is going on there? So I'll be saying like, I'll probably be more inclined to play the other ships more than the CB. So that's what Wargaming has identified. Now it's should be better performance coming up. So that's the update on that. Should be rectified real soon. It means that also with everything that's been written here, it's like it's still in experimentation phases before a final decision was going to be made. So looks like the accurate description of the final changes that actually made it to 11.1. Basically, the tier 8 and 10 carriers can earn more XP for damaging the enemy ships and stuff. 5% for tier 8 and 15% for tier 10, and proportionally less for winning battles. So that has been rectified. So this is something that Wargaming is working on it. This is why carry players who perform well but lose a battle are less likely to appear at the bottom of the team by XP. XP gained won't change significantly when a battle's won. So that is something that will, be taken into consideration here. Credits earned by tier 10 carriers just for joining a battle are reducing by about 11 to 12%. It used to be a 10k carrier that normally end a battle with more credits than tier 10 battleship that dealt small amounts of damage. This change therefore brings the two classes closer in line with each other. So that's very, very true. Since then, tier 10 battles were significantly more important. That's actually pretty interesting. Significantly more important. Yeah, so it's actually very nice though, just by reading that. It looks like the case there. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good overall. The whole setup and everything. I think with everything going on, things do happen for a reason. So definitely. But it's gonna be interesting. Since 10 T10 battleships were any more significantly more than an average ship on the team, the amount of XP earned damage dealt has been reduced by 7%. Okay. Interesting. That the thing is that Wargaming is still going through a lot of changes. I don't know if this update's actually good or not, so we'll see. We'll soon see. The new method of distribution of new ships, the Japanese Tier 9 Iwami, is in development stages and it's coming out soon. They're talking about like access to early Italian destroyers. It's coming out soon as well, which is something pretty exciting, I have to admit. But yeah, this is actually a good history about the warship is actually going to be available for call, funnily enough. There's a new German battleship, the Mecklenburg. Now, Mecklenburg oh sorry, Mecklenburg, is a good ship all around, and it's going to have 305mm guns, which is pretty cool. Interesting, it has 4 barrels. So that's actually going to be interesting for a new steel warship. That is definitely a very good work in progress warship. I'm very curious to see how this thing goes and performs. And 305mm guns. It sounds smaller than the Kurfürst. Yeah, I think the Kurfürst is 420s, if I remember right. Maybe that's a fine print mistake. I'll definitely go check that out and read it out later, but that's interesting. Now, as you know, folks, I mean, like, people who have been talking about submarines, alright? And submarines are definitely, you know, have been around in the game for, you know, on and off for a while. And, yeah, I know. So, when I'm thinking about submarines, I'm going, oh, here we go again. But it looks like submarines are going to have a bit of better performance overall, and it looks like they're trying to do better improvements to anti-submarine changes, which is interesting because I can see like a silhouette of submarine right there. Also, they're definitely trying to improve when the submarine gets damaged with oil leaks and stuff like that, so anything could happen. Interesting, because like there's an example of the oil leak right there. Interesting. But hey, I mean, like, they're trying to be more and more realistic in the game, I guess. So there's interesting how they're gonna do with acoustic homing torpedoes and conventional torpedoes. So they got their definite 2 types that can do more and less damage. But the damage control party will definitely have a limited number of charges, but it's gonna be interesting. I mean, like, it's interesting. So everything here is subject to change, but this is more in depth about the submarine depth precisions as well. Definitely read that out, as well as the detection and the consumables and everything else that soon follows. Definitely read this because submarines are getting better, improved. Hopefully, when you do play subs in World of Warships the next time around, it'll be a better gameplay style. And honestly, I still feel that it needed their own game mode. But anyways, this is something that it's been in the works for some time, and I know how everyone feels about it. There's some new ships in the play for a super warship, Minotaur class redevelopment warship. This is the Edgar, and is actually currently in testing phase, so we're looking forward to that. But definitely, it has a lot of opportunity here. But definitely we'll check it out, read it, and get back to us. The French cruisers is something that I've been keeping my eye on for a while, and I have to admit that each of the French cruisers that have been listing down here all look pretty good. They all look similar styles to the Dunkirk class battleship, but you know, ever since then they actually just continued on from there. That is the general history of the new ships coming out. The French cruiser called Toulon, which is a very nice tier 7 cruiser, available for you to purchase at some point. But yes. So there has been a lot of changes, you know, with the ships in general, but the Ditto and the Canarius, and pretty much there's some new enhancements being made to those ships or nerfs. And then basically they're doing the same thing with balancing the Atlantico, the Sevastopol, and the Italian destroyers. And then at some point, they will run out of ideas on how to keep the game thriving, because there'll be a few other things that need to be added later on at some point in the near future. But yes, I do see a lot of positive changes coming up soon, folks. That is pretty much the nutshell of it. Well, it's been a long day, but yeah, definitely go ahead and subscribe and follow the links into the social media that you can find down here at the bottom right hand corner. But at the same time, definitely don't forget to check out the further dev blogs that is made available on the website here, because blog.worldofwarships.com has a lot of information on there, and it is fantastic. In fact, when I click on here, they definitely have a lot more articles for you to read, and it's all, you know, well and good, and it's very informative. So my friends, I'm going to call it here. If you have any questions or anything, definitely hit us up, let us know. Any feedback is more than welcome, but until then, good winds and fair seas. For those who are living in Australia, who are going through the floods and stuff, please stay safe out there. For those who are traveling around the world, please stay safe. And aside from that, do take care and hope for the best, that things will get better for everybody. Until then, stay safe. Have a good one.